When should you use different programming languages? We're going to answer that as we're in part 4 of our cs50++ course, and we're going to be in this kind of unit programming Hello World in 5 different languages. We just covered how compilers versus interpreters. Your compiler is going to translate before execution, and it's going to produce that standalone executable file, while the interpreter is going to translate at runtime, so line by line, and it's going to do direct code execution with each line that it comes across. Now, what might these pros and cons be of each? Our compiled languages are going to have fast execution, while the interpreted languages are going to be slow execution. But it's important to note that this is overall execution that's going to be the difference. It's going to be if you just click run, okay, your compiled language is going to go faster. But if you're going to go line by line, then your interpreter is going to be faster. Also, your compiler is going to have secure code. This is because of the fact that we just discussed that it is compiled, or rather translated to machine code before runtime. It's all done. So all that anyone you see, or that anyone sees when they look at your code when it's sent out, they'll only see the machine code. Versus your interpreter, your code's going to be exposed, because where the code, that executable file or the executable language is being run on, depends based on if it's a compiled versus interpreted languages. So the interpreter, you have to send your code to the system, essentially, that's going to be running your code. While for the compilers, you're only sending them that binary code and not your actual source code overall. That's just the ones and zeros. But then this brings up the pro for interpreters. You're going to have very fast debugging. And this is because of the fact that you can go line by line. If you were in C, it would have to compile through all of your code, and then all of a sudden, once it's all compiled, you would see the error. Versus in these interpreted languages, you're going to see that error right away. Also, a con of the compiled languages is going to be that it's system-specific execution. So this machine code, this is the most low-level code. It's only going to work on the specific machine that made that code, because it's in the binary. Versus with your interpreted languages, it has universal execution, because they'll have the source code and they'll be able to use the system settings, no matter if it's Windows, Linux, etc., and be able to make the proper machine code.